Hello, and glad to have you here. As you're hopping on, let me know where you're coming in from, and let me know what you've been getting out of what we've been talking about all week, which is around being consistent and what that looks like, and what is inconsistency, and how does that look, and what can be some of the problems, that happens when there is an inconsistency. What does that do? So today we're talking about, are your customers and team members and getting more of them important when it comes to talking about being consistent? And if it's important, would you like to know what can help you grow in becoming a more consistent person? And consistent being consistent is a really big topic. So I've only chosen a few things, especially I want to talk about business and a little bit about life overall, because there are certain things that we may be consistent with, but if you're more on the inconsistent side, that might not, continue. I talked about how I started off as one of those perfectionistic type people and am a reforming perfectionist. So I'm changing my ways and growing in being consistent and doing the things that a consistent person does. And so what I wanted to do today is, after, doing research and listening, and I mean, because I've heard this for years, since I've been online, and just, it's one of those things that's really, really important. And I just want to share with you my take on it, and from what I've also gathered from mentors, leaders, that I, appreciate what it is that they have to say and I agree with, as well as, what it is that, you can do, I can do to help us to be better in being consistent, especially when we're talking about our business, you know, customers and team members. We want to do what's going to help us to be able to be successful, right? We want to be successful because we are in business, but we mainly, one of the main things we want to do to be able to do that is to be able to help those people that we want to help, serve those people that we want to serve. And we can't do that if we are not consistent with what it is that we're trying to do, what it is that we're trying to help them with. We don't want to send people off confused and, not really, scratching their head going, so what did he or she just say, and that kind of thing. So I just kind of thought about some things that I have been trying to do more, so on a basis of getting the perfectionistic stuff out of my head and being more about service and helping, and what do I need to do to do that. And one of those things is being consistent. So, like I said, I looked up there. This is a really big topic, but some of the things that I saw that were repeated, and hopefully this won't cause you guys to just, ball up and run away. But, there are some things that you may maybe not want to hear, or maybe you've heard it before and you just don't think. I know for me, sometimes it takes me so many times to hear it until it finally, I get an aha moment, or until I finally go, bing, oh, I get it now, that kind of thing. I mean, I'm not anywhere near, everything that I want to be, but I am making steps and doing things to help me to get there. So before I go on, let me, because I sometimes end up not introducing myself until the end. Let me introduce myself to those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting. My name is Cherie Woodard, and I help business builders and entrepreneurs to use social media to get prospect leads and sales in their business. And I do that by using different ways, different strategies. I use attraction marketing, lead generation, as well as live video, and I make sure, by staying up to date, being modern and trending with what's actually, cutting edge out there. And I get a lot of that in the mentorship program that I'm in, that taught me a lot of the stuff that that I've learned, and that I can then turn around and share with those people that I want to help, that were out there like me, doing business building by doing the list of 100, and, bugging family and friends, and chasing strangers. And it just wasn't, it wasn't something that I wanted to do. And so I had to find a different way. So I did that, and I have been learning and growing and continuing to do that and progressing. And, it's not just about learning one thing or one way, it's about learning a lot of things eventually, but not all like beating you in the head saying, oh, you got to know this, you got to know that. It's so anyway, let me get off of that. But basically, so that is what I do. Now, when we're talking about, and I have notes here, and I'm trying to get my keyboard out of the way so I don't end up punching it off by mistake. So you'll maybe hear some scraping there. But something that I know a lot of people really maybe not want to get into, and you kind of go, oh, I already know about that. I don't really get into that or whatever. But it's important to set goals. This is something that, I've been in school, I've got, a degree here and there, I'm a nurse, so, I know that there are things that are important to help you to reach where it is that you want to go. And I can remember when I didn't really want to hear about goals. And it was just constantly writing notes and doing this stuff and then trying to learn it and keep going, But as I have grown, as a person who wants to learn and help others, and especially those people that I want to serve, I have learned that it's really important to be able to have goals and, set those goals that you want to reach, and then, set a plan, to go to be able to reach those goals, and then taking action. So, that's like in one realm of where I have learned and grown, and taking action, and so those, I lump together. So that is something that, and most everything that I, went back and kind of researched and looked back through my notes and stuff, and, and the things that I know myself, is that's a group of things that people, really want. Hello there. Really want, really should. I don't want to say should. I don't want to be preaching to you or teaching to you in that kind of way. But it's something that I found that works for me. It is, it just has you as Facebook user. So thank you for coming, and anyone else who comes. And if you have to give the StreamYard permission to use your name, and other than that, they won't put it on there. It'll just say Facebook user. So anyway, let me get back. So those are the things that, in a lump, that I started really thinking about. And, like I said, being in school, we've done what people have told us to do: go to school, graduate from high school, go to college. Hey, Melvet, cool, good. Yeah, so it looks like it's doing it to you on my page too. Isn't that weird? Oh man, who knows? But I'm glad to have you here. So, as well as now, the other thing that I saw, and that I really think it's important to focus on, is that there are a lot of different things that we can be consistent in. But overall, if you look at your life, what you want to do, how you want to organize things, how you want to work things, who it is that you want to help, and where can you go from there, then you can get down, to setting goals and a plan, and then taking actions. And then also, I didn't throw that in there because I don't want to overwhelm anyone, but evaluating that and seeing what's working and what's not working. It's just so important. For me, one of the things that is really important to me is to be able to show up when I say that I'm going to show up. So today, I normally go and do my lives at 12, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Every now and then, I have a training or something that gets in the way of that, and so I'll either have to go earlier or later. Today, I had a procedure that I had to do, but I was still determined that when I got home from that procedure, because it was too much to do before, that I just decided it'd probably be better if I did it when I got home and had myself settled down so that I'm, calm and from having, and I'm sure some people out there, a lot of people probably have had to go out and have procedures done, and then you come back home and then you either sleep or do whatever it is to get yourself back, in the groove so you can keep going. So for me, being a person of my word, telling somebody that I'm going to do something, showing up for it, and then also giving value. If you want to have customers and team members that really want to stay with you, that want to hear what it is that you have to say, that want to um, come and listen to you when they see that you're going live, or they know you go live, on these particular days, or you go live on this one particular day, then they're really going to try to be there. But, if they know that you're a person who's not really a person of your word, so you may say that you go live on Mondays, but you never go live on Mondays, or you go live on Mondays for maybe a month, and then you don't go live on Mondays again for a while, and they don't see you. And then they may wait out for a little while, but they're not going to wait forever, because it's a busy place. It's just so much going on online, and so people are not going to hang around. They're going to go find someone else that's going to be able to help them with the problems that they have, to help them to find the solutions. And in order to be able to do that and point somebody in the direction that you want them to go to, you want to be able to be consistent. You want to be able to show up. You want to be able to do what it is you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to talk about this, then talk about this. If you're going to talk about that, then talk about that. If you want to bring something else in, that's okay. And that's, then, say, this by way of what we're talking about, I also want to just bring this in and just kind of let you know. Yes, definitely, Melvet, consistency is key. Being consistent is key. Being a consistency is key. It's one of those important things, and that is another thing that kept turning up in everything that I researched, everything that I looked at as I was planning this out. The other thing that I wanted to say, and this was just something that I read that I just, because I can't give it all to you in a nutshell, because this is something that it's a big topic. But the other thing that I saw, and this was different from a lot of the other things that I read, was when you are trying to grow in being consistent, and you say maybe you have an appointment with somebody and you don't make it, you somehow forgot, or your calendar wasn't right, or something like that. Don't go and beat yourself up about it. You know, Try to, as soon as possible, call that person, say, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Try not to make excuses, but I really, I don't want to make excuses. I really planned on being there, and I'm so sorry that I did not show up. If you give me another opportunity, however you want to, you and that person talk, or however you and, it might be somebody, it might be somebody that you're just meeting, and they want to, talk to you about something. It doesn't have to be, somebody that you're friends with. It doesn't have to be somebody that, that is a relative. It could be somebody that wants to learn something from you. Because I tell people all the time, if you have questions about anything that I talk about on my lives, or whatever the subject is for that day, the topic is, the content, you know and you want to go deeper, or you have some questions, you can always get me on Messenger. I like to let people know that, because that way they know they can call me. And so I may not have everything in my head, but I know how to use Google, and I know how to help you to use Google. so that you can figure out what it is that you're looking for. And I lead so many people at that. Now, a lot of people may use other search engines, but Google is like, that's what I do. So when mistakes happen, so important, don't beat yourself up, don't fall apart, just give it another try. If you just can't you can't beat a person who continues to try, a person who continues to move forward, a person who understands that mistakes will happen, but that you don't have to stay there. You can keep moving. And that person may never want to speak to you again. That's okay. You have to just deal with that and just say, okay, that was a lesson learned, and keep going. So basically, that is all I had for today. I just wanted to finish up talking about consistency since number one, on the first day, Tuesday, we talked about consistency or inconsistency or both in general. I wanted to let you know what, overall it was, and why it might be important. And then we talked about some things that, were considered inconsistent. And then today wanted to talk to you more about things that would help you to grow into being consistent. And that is, like I said, some of those things that people really don't want to hear, don't want to listen to, because maybe they've heard it too much, but maybe the 30th time, the 20th time, maybe the 10th time for you. It depends on you as a person. Goals, plan, taking action on that plan, and then evaluating it and seeing if it's going to work or not, or if did it work, how did it go, that kind of thing. So basically, that is it. I'm sorry if I'm talking really fast, but I just wanted to share with you about consistency this week. And next week we'll have a different topic, and talk with you soon, no matter wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and this is a big old world we're in. So take care. Talk soon. Bye now. Thanks for coming.